Hi, Rob from Multihog here. Really excited to be showing you around our brand new CX Mark II tractor today. So this is the compact and multi-purpose tool carrier from a range, and it can be as narrow as 1200 millimeters or 47 inches, making it perfect for use on footpaths or sidewalks. In the rear, we have a 75 horsepower Deutz Stage 5 engine, Stage 5 for Europe and Tier 4 final for the US. So that's the latest in emissions technology. That 75 horsepower is powering a fully hydrostatic four-wheel drive system. So you have a wheel motor on each wheel, giving it excellent pushing power and climbing ability. And that makes it really good for winter maintenance with a snowblower or plow on the front of the machine. But it also has great off-road capability for mowing grass during those non-winter months, or other applications such as watering arm or thermal weed control. You have a 40 km/h or 25 mph top travel speed. And with this machine, you have class leading comfort with full suspension front and rear. That also means that you have great stability on the machine. So even when it's fully loaded, front and rear attachments, very stable and very safe. Okay, starting off the front of the machine, taking a close look at the hitch. We have a 3-point linkage on the machine. It's Cat 1 or Cat 2, 3-point linkage, and it's very straightforward for taking attachments on and off. Really easy to do and very quick to do also. With the front hitch, it's very robust, and we have a great lifting capacity of 1200 kg or 2,640 pounds. So that's very good for something like a heavy duty flail mower or a heavy duty snowblower on the front of this unit. With the front hitch, we can float it in terms of height, but we also have the option to have a hydraulic cylinder for controlling the rotation of the front hitch. And you're able to float that from the fingertip controls inside the cab. So you can float the height and float the rotation hydraulically on the machine. That's really good for something like a snow plow, for keeping that contact patch between the blade and the ground, or for something like a mower deck when you're operating on uneven terrain, giving you a really fine, smooth, precise cut with the attachment. All right, then we have the option for mechanical PTO, 1000 RPM, direct drive, loads of power from the engine straight to the attachment. And then we also have the option for load sensing hydraulic PTO up to 100 litres per minute or 26 GPM. And that has a really high operating pressure of 220 bar or 3,200 PSI. That's loads of hydraulic power, loads of hydraulic flow for this size of machine, making it really, really versatile and can pretty much do any attachment fully hydraulic. Okay, that's your load sensing hydraulic couplings here. And then over on this side, we have our double acting functions. We can have up to 3 double acting functions on the front of the CX, making it really versatile. And those double acting functions can have float functions on them as well. So that's a big improvement now on the new CX, where we've finger trip controls for each of those double actings, and every single one can be floated from those fingertip controls. So for something like floating the head of a boom mower, or for floating the wings of a batwing mower, you can do that all directly with the fingertip controls. So really nice new feature on the machine. All right, now looking at the cab, and the first thing to point out is that the cab has been totally redesigned on our new CX. It's much more spacious. We actually have 40% more room inside the cab, 40% more volume. So you've got loads of legroom and loads of headroom, even for your larger operators. We've totally redesigned the access to the cab, where now we can get in from both sides, and it's step in and step out access. So it's very easy to get in and out of, and that is a huge improvement with the new machine. Okay, inside the cab, you'll see with all the glass, we've got 360 degrees visibility. So you can see everything around you, the extremity of your attachments, and any pedestrians or people working on your team that might be close. So it's very, very safe. We have really good lighting packages as well. We have our standard road lights on top. We have options for work lights. We have options for LED flashers. We have our standard beacon on the roof. And now we also have an option for LED road lights as well on the machine. The cab, the same as the rest of our range, is fully ROP certified. So going back to that operator safety, that's really, really important to us at Multihog. It's been fully safety tested and comes with that EU type approval that all of our range has. So it's totally road legal, and in most cases it can be driven with a tractor license, or in the US without a CDL. We've really good winter packages on the machine where we can have a heated windscreen on the front. We've got heated mirrors as well. So really, really comfortable place for the operator to be. With the new cab, we've also greatly improved the heating and AC performance, where we've totally redesigned it. We've a new blower, which has increased the airflow by 15%. And with that, we've also optimized the position of the air vents inside the cab, where we have 6 vents now, optimizing that airflow for blowing air onto the windscreen and also down into the footwell for the operator and back up towards the operator as well. So with that airflow improvement, we also have a heating improvement of up to 35%. So in those harsher winter climates where it's going to be as low as maybe minus 30 degrees, you're still going to be warm and comfortable inside the cab and able to defrost the windscreen on the unit. Now, for the hotter climates, for those non-winter applications, for the summer months, we've also improved the air conditioning performance, and we've actually increased that performance by 22%. We've relocated the air conditioning condenser to behind the cab, and it now has an independent electrically driven fan. So even if the machine is sitting at idle, you still have full cooling performance on the condenser for the AC, ensuring that you can get cold air inside the cab. So that's a really, really nice improvement on the Mark II machine. So now zooming in at the articulation point on the machine. The first thing I want to point out is the thickness of plate that we use in the articulation. It's very strong and robust, and it's something that a lot of Multihog engineering time goes into to make sure that that articulation point is strong enough to handle the abuse that this machine will take when it's out in the field. You'll also see that we have dual steering cylinders for steering the articulation. That's really important to have that steering force. If you've something like a large box plough out front with a big quantity of snow, you have to be able to steer that snow as you steer the machine. With the articulation, you have 45 degrees of articulation, so really tight turning angle. And we also have 10 degrees of oscillation between the front and rear chassis. That makes the machine very stable and also very safe. If the operator slips off the curb with the front chassis, the rear chassis is still laying flat. It's very safe, very stable. Okay, we've redesigned part of the articulation to give 50% more space for the routing of the hoses. That's very important as it helps to mitigate any wear and tear that the hoses were getting through that articulation point. So that's a big improvement. Also, you'll see how well and tidily the hoses are packed running from the rear to the front chassis. Then you'll see the mechanical PTO on the machine. That's fully covered, so you have no exposed shaft turning, and that's a big point in terms of safety, that you don't have that exposed spinning shaft on the unit. And over here then you'll see that we have a bank where we can have the option for grease nipples on the machine. So that can be the option for central greasing point, and that can be a really nice option to have for improving the time for daily maintenance on the unit. Okay, now looking at the rear capacity of the machine. So we've excellent carrying capacity on this unit, and on the rear bed we can carry up to 1200 kg or 2,640 pounds. So something like a 1,000 litre water tank or a large salt spreader or even a suction container for sweeping or mowing grass can be mounted on the back of this machine. That makes it very, very versatile and allows the machine to stay out in the field for longer. So you have less downtime running back and forth to the depot for refills when you have such good mounting capacity on the rear. That helps with energy consumption and lowering your fuel consumption, making this machine a more sustainable choice. The mounting of rear attachments is very simple, where we have our rail system with locking pins, and you can take an attachment off the back of the machine within 5 minutes. So very, very easy to swap over from one rear attachment to the other. We also have the option to have this rear bed hydraulically tipping, controlled from inside the cabin, fingertip controls. And that would be useful, say, if you had a drop spreader hanging off the back of the machine, and you can have a dump body then mounted on the rear where you can refill your drop spreader on the go. Again, adding to that capacity and time that the operator can spend out in the field between refills. So the CX has really good serviceability access. We already have the top bed up, but the diesel tank will swing open fully, so we can take a look at that. And with it open, you'll see that you have really good side access as well. Very easy access to your fuel filters and oil filter and any of the components around the engine. It's really important as well to note that the main hydraulic pumps and the engine itself are all located in the rear chassis of the machine. So we've none of those moving parts mounted underneath the cab. That really helps to reduce noise level and vibration level on the machine. Also on the unit, we've a long service interval of 500 hours, reducing the number of service components and service fluids needed, increasing the sustainability of the unit. In front of the diesel tank, you'll notice we also have jump points for our battery and our isolator switch, so that's really easy to access on the unit. Okay, now at the back of the machine, the first thing I want to point out is on our new CX, we've redesigned the whole grille here. It's been optimized for more surface area to allow for more airflow. And then behind that grille, we have a hydraulically driven fan that's fully temperature controlled. So the fan will only spin as fast as required to keep the engine itself cool and all the hydraulics cool on the machine. The big advantage of that is it's fully independent of the engine speed itself. So you're always optimized for cooling for those hotter climates or when the machine is under high load. And also, as the fan only runs as fast as it needs to, it really helps to reduce the overall noise level of the machine, making it very quiet for operating in urban areas. So that's a huge advantage on the new Mark II, and it's really improved the overall cooling performance. Then at the back of the machine, you'll also see here our rear mounting rails. So for attachments like hanging a drop spreader in the back, that's very easy to do, where it will just bolt straight on. You'll see over here we have our load sensing quick release couplings, our load sensing hydraulic PTO, and that can go up to 60 litres per minute on the rear of the machine, or 16 gallons per minute, and has an operating pressure of 220 bar or 3,200 psi. So on the rear we have a lot of versatility and a lot of power for running those rear attachments. Over on the other side, you'll see our capability for double acting functions on the rear of the machine, say for tipping a mowing collection container or a sweeping hopper. We have that versatility built into the machine, so really nice. We have full lighting on the back, so LED lights for brake lights, reversing light, and our turn signals or indicators are all on the machine. We have mounting plate for a number plate. As we said already, the machine is road registerable, fully road legal and type approved, and we have our number plate light here as well. Then you'll notice our blank plate here, that's for taking a trailer hitch. And on the CX, like all our range, we can tow up to a 3,500 kg trailer or 7,700 pounds, and that's with a brake trailer, but you have a lot of towing capacity on the machine. So that could be a big water container you need to take to the job site, or even another attachment. So you have that capability, makes the machine very flexible, being able to bring something else with you to the job site. So looking closer at the cooling system on the machine, as I said, that's hydraulically driven. But we also have the option to have that reversing, which is a very good option if you're going to be doing mowing, so that you can blow off any grass or debris collecting on the radiator. That's really nice feature for those applications, and we can have it set up that you can control it from the keypad, or have it set up totally automatic, so when your attachment's running, the fan will just auto reverse at a set interval and for a set time. Really good feature on the machine. Then last thing to point out on the back of the machine is, along with the lighting packages that we've mentioned, we have our LED flashers available on the unit, and we also have LED work lights towards the back of the cab. So if we have something like a drop spreader, we can see what we're putting down behind the machine. Okay, so as I said on the CX, we've really improved the access on the machine. we've got full access on the left and the right side. And when I open it up and jump in, it's really easy to get inside and out. All right, so sitting inside the cab, and you can really feel just how much more room you have inside. I'm sitting in a higher seating position. I've got loads more headroom above me, and I have great leg room. So it's very, very comfortable. I'm sitting on an air ride seat that's fully adjustable forward and back, and I can adjust my back as well, including the armrests. This machine has the option for heated seat installed as well, so that's really nice feature to have for those colder climates. You've got full adjustability over my steering wheel, okay, and it's telescopic as well. And a huge improvement as well that we have on the new machine is that we've got great storage here. So for toolbox here on my right side, I have storage, cup holder storage for phone or lunchbox. That's a big improvement on this machine. So really, really good to have that extra storage. In front of me, then I have my radio up here. Okay, so you've got good sound system and good radio on the machine. And then I have my AC controls and heater controls up here on the top left. As we've said already, inside the cab now we've got much better heating and AC, but you can see the position of the vents here, where I've got adjustable vents here towards myself as the operator. I've got adjustable vents down below towards my feet, and then here for the windows, and we have new vents as well in front pointing towards the window. So even in those really, really cold climates, you've got direct heat for defrosting the windscreen, so that's very nice. As well on the CX now, we also have sun visor as well, which is a nice addition to the machine. Then on the right and the left doors, we have our standard sliding windows on the CX. So for operating in those summer months, you want fresh air inside the cab, you can open them up. So on the Mark II CX, we now have our whole new control system for the machine and running the attachments. What's really nice about this is it's the exact same as our Mark II MX, so you can very easily get from one machine to the other and all the controls are the same. So big improvements now between the CX is previously we had a hydrostatic joystick. Now our joystick is fully electronic here for controlling our hitch and the rotation of the hitch, forward, back, left and right. That's lift and rotation. And now we have our fingertip controls for controlling our attachments. And each one of these fingertip controls is fully proportional and also has float functions, which you can engage by just pushing the finger lever down. That's really nice. And what's also nice about those is that you can adjust how sensitive they are depending on what attachment that you have mounted on the machine. Here then we have our rocker switch for forward, neutral and reverse. We have our switch for controlling between drive mode and work mode on the machine. We have the option for cruise speed on this unit. And then we have this tab here for controlling our engine RPM when we're in work mode. So when the machine's in work mode, our engine RPM is totally independent of our drive speed. And when we're in drive mode, the engine RPM and our drive pump is all controlled by the computer together to optimize for fuel consumption. Again, looking towards that sustainability point that this machine can offer. Up here, then we have our safety switches for our PTOs. So we have mechanical PTO, hydraulic PTO to the front, and hydraulic PTO to the rear. And they're safety switches as you don't want to engage them by mistake. And also, they're linked to the seat safety switch as your PTOs will shut off if the operator is not in the seat. Here we have our park brake on the machine, so electronic park brake on and off on the unit as well. And then by the right side here, I have my controls for drive speed 1 and 2, and the option for load transfer on the unit, high pressure carryover on the machine, which can be up to 15 litres per minute. Then we have second stage or first stage differential on the machine, so you have excellent traction and that's all controlled from the keypad. And then we have our reversing fan, heated mirrors, LED flashers and beacons, and our work lights. So really all the main controls in this machine are at the fingertips of the operator, and the whole armrest here floats with the seat. So on uneven terrain, or if the operator is moving quickly, the operator's armrest, or the operator's elbow, is moving with the armrest, so it's very comfortable and very simple to control. Really, really ergonomic on the machine. The new Mark II CX also has our push-to-go drive system, which is the same across our multi-hog range now, and it's really simple to use. We have rocker switch here for forward, neutral, reverse, as I've mentioned already. We have our accelerator pedal on the right, and we have our brake pedal on the left. It's so easy, the operator can jump in and drive within seconds. So the CX has the same style dash as the rest of our range as well, and it's a really good quality, high resolution digital dash. The main page has all the main functions or main information that the operator would need. From fuel gauge on the left, we have our engine RPM here, then after that speed indicator, we have our drive select, whether in work mode and what speed we're in, and we have our trip information and our working hours on the bottom. We have a battery level indicator and our engine temperature level also displayed. From the dash, we can also change what mode the machine is in. To do that, we go into general settings, and you can see here we have the operational mode set in standard. We can change that to plow or mower, and there's a number of preset modes that we can set up on the machine with different hydraulic flow levels optimized for the different attachments that you put on. So when you change attachments, you can quickly change modes, and straight away you have the correct hydraulic flows already preset, which is very nice. We also have built-in diagnostics on the machine. You can go to the diagnostics page and you'll see 4 different menus. We have diagnostics for the engine, the drive pump, the main controller inputs, and also outputs available. And this is a really nice feature to have. So reducing the downtime and maintenance time required on the machines by giving so much information available straight away to our maintenance personnel and operators. From the outputs page on the diagnostics, you'll even see that each of the main hydraulic valve blocks are highlighted, and a really nice feature is that as you move the joystick or the hydraulic controls, it will highlight which valve is active and the current going to those solenoids, and that can really help to pinpoint any issues and where the problems are coming from if there is an issue.